What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the TF Movie Show. This is just the web series we're talking about the Transformers live-action movie franchise. This is episode number 43, and yes, I'm back. I am back making these movie updates. It's been a while. 9 months ago was when I made episode number 42, and the headline for that episode was called No Transformers 6, No Michael Bay, No Unicron. And I stand by those words because that's what I truly believed. We didn't get Michael Bay, we're definitely not getting a Unicron, and there was no Transformers 6 because we got some new information. By the way, I just want to just thank everybody who has been so supportive and also who have stuck by and been loyal to my social media presence. You know what I'm saying? For those that have been kept up with following me on Twitter, on Facebook, even staying subscribed on YouTube, as well as following me on Instagram, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I always knew I was going to be back. I wanted to be back. A lot of people were thinking like, where are you? Like, you're gone. I did go on vacation, but I got back in December, mid-December. And right now, I'm just fighting a bit of a cough. Don't worry, it's not coronavirus. I actually had a Bud Light Lime the other day, so I know it's not coronavirus. That was a joke. Anyways, so there's a lot going on now. And a little while back, maybe back in... when I made a video 2 months ago, or rather back in mid-December, telling you guys that I'm back, I did say that I was going to post a Transformers movie update in January. I knew that there was going to be something announced because, hey, it's January 2020. And, well, here it is. I know what I said when I said it because I was there when I said it. January 2020, here we are, and here is our first official movie update from, well, it's not specifically from Paramount Studios. It is actually from two very reliable sources, Variety and also Deadline. Two very reliable news sources, especially for entertainment news. I don't trust a lot of rumors. I don't like to report on rumors that I read from websites like, for example, WeGotThisCovered.com. That website just creates theories and then suddenly it's considered rumors and news. Like, I don't like to report on that. I like to report on more reliable sources as we've had these experiences before in, Transformers Age of Extinction, Transformers Last Night. A lot of theories were made up and then people just ran with it, but nothing solid came out of it. So I don't want to make that, I don't want to repeat that in 2020 because we got two new movies coming out, and this is from these reports, so I'm just going to jump right into it, okay? So let's just go with what it says from Variety, okay? I'm just going to read you the headline. Transformers franchise gets a revamp with two separate films in the works. Okay, Paramount Pictures looking to revamp its Transformers franchise in a big way. As sources tell Variety, two simultaneous scripts are now in active development, one by James Vanderbilt and one by Joby Harold. Paramount's most recent take on the franchise was 2018's Bumblebee, a coming-of-age tale that was produced on a smaller budget than other Transformers films. That different approach went over well with both critics and audiences, grossing $465 million worldwide and open up to a new opportunity to continue the franchise, with the studio now expanding the Transformers universe with the development of two scripts. Details behind both scripts are still vague, but sources say they present an opportunity to build out multiple storylines within the franchise. Okay, that's what it says on the Variety article. Now let's look at the Deadline article. It says dual Transformers movies in the works at Paramount. Transformers, the IP that never dies, 1980s toy franchise, is being developed again at Paramount with two projects, one by murder mystery scribe James Vanderbilt and the other by John Wick Chapter 3 EP and Army of Dead scribe Joby Harold. Okay, the Vanderbilt project, from what I heard, is based on Transformers spin-off Beast Wars, which are robots that transform into robotic animals like Cheetor, Optimus Primal, Rhinox, and more. Vanderbilt has been on the project since April. There's news today that one of the projects is based on the Bumblebee universe. Okay, so there we have it. Two reliable sources talking about it. Now I'm going to provide my opinion. First of all, this is just solidifying things that that has already been reported on last year. Last year was 2019, but Bumblebee came out in 2018, to be specific, at the end of 2018. So obviously there's going to be lots of talk in 2019, especially by producer Lorenzo de Bonaventura, and he's talked about a lot of things in the future, such as a Cybertron prequel, a potential Beast Wars spin-off, and also a continuation, or rather a follow-up to Bumblebee. And he even mentioned something about a Bumblebee and Optimus Prime buddy film. So those are some of the options that have been laid out there. It's obviously something that can be done, but all they got to do is look back at the source material for them to get inspiration. So now we're getting more solid reports, and check this out. Joby Harold and James Vanderbilt. None of these names are actually in the Transformers writing room when they made the writing room after Transformers Age of Extinction. Like, none of these names actually were part of, none of these two names were part of the writer's room. The writer's room is completely scrapped. Like, it just didn't work out for them. The only thing that came out of it was Transformers Last Night, which, you know, pretty much came at full stop, and then the Bumblebee spinoff, which is only the reason. These are the two results of the writer's room: the Last Night and the Bumblebee spinoff film, and that's it. And these two new writers are going about having two, one is continuing the direction of Bumblebee, and the other one is doing a full-on Transformers movie. Now, when I look back at it, I feel like this is something, like I said before, this is Paramount and Hasbro going the route of Marvel Studios. They have the solo films, you know what I'm saying? Like Bumblebee, and then a Bumblebee Optimus Prime spin-off film, or buddy film. That's the individual character films. And then you have to have their Avengers films, which is the Transformers films. In this case, a potential and possible Beast Wars film. Now, keep in mind that there has been concept art for Transformers in Beast Wars, you know, Beast Wars format, like a live action Beast Wars version of Optimus Prime. There's been some concept art circling around, and that has actually been produced. And that could have inspired that, because I'm sure the script writers and, you know, the producers were looking for source material. So then they came up with Beast Wars, and then they decided to put together some concept art for that. And perhaps that concept art will actually make it to the live action big screen. Like, that could be highly possible. Of course, Bumblebee was a success. They gotta follow up with that. Now, Beast Wars doesn't necessarily have to be connected with Bumblebee, but still, it could follow in the same timeline. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like Marvel, they're jumping back and forth. Just like Star Wars, they're jumping back and forth in the timeline. But at the end of the day, it's still canon. It's all the same timeline, but like in different parts that are distant from the current story. And by current story, I mean the latest story, that is Bumblebee. So I think they should totally continue where Bumblebee left off. I love how Bumblebee ended. It might not be with Haley Steinfeld, but I'd love to see the adventures of Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, considering we saw them last at the very end scene of Bumblebee. As for Beast Wars, they are totally able to start completely fresh. I mean, they're starting from the very, well, not the very, very beginning, but at least somewhere that is very, very fresh territory. So they can do whatever they want, but at the end, but also at the same time, they could have it connect in a way to the opening sequence of Bumblebee, which is, you know, the Cybertron battles. So basically have it connect to what's going on in Cybertron, to the context of Cybertron, but then, you know, still be in the same timeline. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a completely fresh take on Transformers. I mean, it is in a way, but it's still connected. They're all connected in this potentially vast cinematic universe. Now, why is this happening? Why is all this happening right now? Well, it always has been happening. Paramount Studios, Hasbro, they're not going to drop Transformers. We haven't heard a lot of news about it because it's still in the scripting stages. That's why we haven't heard anything. But I always had faith that we are getting a film soon. And by knowing this film, that also solidifies my theory that we are going to see this film in summer of 2021. So they've been working on the script since April, as it was reported. So that's been a very, very long time. they could potentially be halfway there or almost there and finalizing that final script. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we're getting a new Transformers film in summer of 2021. After all, in the calendar by Hasbro Paramount, they did say Hasbro Paramount event film. What could that be? What could that be? I mean, they already outlined Dungeons and Dragons. They already mentioned G.I. Joe was in the works. So what is that other film? They want to play the safe route, and that is by not announcing what it actually is, because if Transformers doesn't work out and they're not able to make that timeline, they could put something else there. But I personally believe that that spot was for or is for a potential Transformers film, provided that they're able to get the script done in time, get the filming done on time, and all the post-production. That's for that film. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very, very, very excited about that. And what they're doing right now is, it's very safe and calculated, because they're giving the audiences a lot of time for us to really love and want and yearn for Transformers again. Because if you remember the Michael Bay films, like they came out too often. Well, not too often. They came out, like the first 3 films came out 2 years apart, and then 3 years, and then 3 years apart. But the thing is that nothing was really that different about it. There was nothing fresh about it. It was just the same Michael Bay style Transformers films, right? And then as you see the same formula happen again and again, you feel like it just happens too often. The audiences kind of feel like they need a break. So by giving us that break, and also by giving us something totally fresh and new, it really makes us feel like, okay, I like what I'm seeing in Bumblebee. I want more of this. I don't want the same thing that we got in the original 5 films. I want something new. It makes us want it more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna bird walk a little bit. And by bird walking, that means going off topic, but it's all connected. So let me tell you this, okay? Like I said, this is going back to me talking about how this is very calculated, and that is another Michael Bay franchise. That's Bad Boys. Bad Boys 3. They changed directors. Michael Bay no longer directing, not even producing. That Bad Boys 3 film, Bad Boys for Life, is a huge critical and financial success. It already is, okay? And because of that, Warner Brothers Studios, now they're making a Lethal Weapon 5 film with the original director, Richard Donner, and also the original cast coming back. And then on top of that, Mighty Ducks is making a comeback with Emilio Estevez back as the coach. So you see what's going on here? These are very, very calculated moves. The studios are doing something that they feel is safe, and they're doing something that they feel that the audiences actually want. So what they're doing here is they're bringing Transformers back at the right time. And that's exactly why I said January is when we're gonna get something, some kind of news, something that's solid for a new Transformers film. Everything's all calculated. I mean, if you think like a movie studio, you think like a business, you will know that what's going on right now is something that isn't really a surprise, because after all, when you really think about it, this news that's being reported is actually not that really a huge shock or surprise to anyone, because Lorenzo de Bonaventura did mention Beast Wars. He also did mention another Bumblebee film. It's just that by having it reported and announcing these 2 names, Joby Harold and James Vanderbilt, it solidifies that news, as opposed to just being like empty words. Now we got something solid, and that is a very, very a good step. Now we have something to work with. We had nothing to work with, or except that Lorenzo de Bonaventura saying like, well, we could go Beast Wars, and we're thinking about making another Bumblebee movie, maybe a Cybertron animated prequel. Like, there's nothing solid there. Now we have 2 names attached, and apparently they were working on the script since April. So that is very, very exciting. So yeah, that's all I have to say in this episode. By the way, I just want to mention to you guys that, thank you so much for your enthusiasm about, tweeting me all these articles about, this. I got it. I read about it. And I really appreciate you guys sending the articles to me. But I just want to tell you that you don't need to rush me to make a video, like saying hey, where's your video? What the hell, man? It's like this information, this news is like 12 hours old. Why haven't you put out a video? Let me tell you something. It's not a race. Okay? I'm not posting this video to be the first one to post it. I will post a video when I feel like it. I will post a video when I have an opinion to say. If I have nothing to say, like, why do I need to report it? The report is already right there. The report is right there on Variety and Deadline. The whole point of these videos is for me to provide some feedback. I'm not here to report the news. I'm here to actually read the news previously and then talk about how I feel about it. And that's why you're watching these videos. You want to know how I feel about it, as opposed to me just going, in breaking news, there's another movie coming. End of the video. You know, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to provide my opinion about it the moment I have something to say, or have at least have thought about something to say. Now I've thought about something to say, and now here's your video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I will, of course, have more updates for you guys, because this is just the beginning. It's 2020, and you know, we are at the beginning stages of a brand new film, which is potentially coming in summer of 2021. I want to tell you guys to please stay subscribed to this channel. Follow me on Instagram. I'm going to start posting more stuff there. I mean, I've already been posting a lot of stuff, but just follow me on Instagram, and maybe I'll start doing some shout outs. I'm very active on Instagram as well as Twitter, but I just want to provide you an avenue of interaction, because if you tweet at me, I have been maintaining conversations with people on Twitter, and then I have been responding to some comments on Instagram. Not all of them, because some of them don't really require a response, but at the same time, I do read and see all your comments. So thank you so much for following me. And we are back. We are so back. The Ragin Nation is back, and we are here to stay. I ain't going anywhere, man. I love making these videos. I love making these videos for you guys, and I love having something to say for you guys to hear about it, so we can have this back and forth conversation. I love the live-action Transformers franchise, okay? You know, we had a bit of a downward slope, but we're back up again, all right? Because I gotta say, that Bumblebee movie by Travis Knight was pretty amazing. Isn't it funny that how when Michael Bay leaves the franchise of Bad Boys and Transformers, like his two franchises that he started, the franchise gets better. Okay, I know that's a very bold statement, and some people are gonna hate me for that, but that's a fact. Okay, it is a fact. Okay, look, I still love Michael Bay. Okay, he's made some really great movies. Go watch The Rock. Go watch Bad Boys. Go watch Armageddon. Hell, I even love The Island. Okay, I think that's a very, very great film. Well, maybe not a great film, but it's definitely a good film. As always, 13 hours, go check that out, okay? 13 hours is where it's at. That's like full-on Michael Bay for you, okay? Skip 6 Underground. Anyways, as always, if you want to see more and you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace. Peace.